another person we're not going to mention.
Hey guys.
Hey y'all, what's up? How y'all doing? Welcome to Maximize Monday again.
Maximize Monday. It's a good Monday because it's cool. Yesterday was hot.
Yo, I had my I got me in short sleeve. I walked outside. I was like, oh, it's gonna be nice out. I didn't check the temperature. I was like, yo.
It's too hot.
I went back in and got my jacket. I was like, okay. I hate how this keeps going up and down like this, but it is what it is. So,
I mean, if it stayed like how it is today, I'd be good. So I don't like summer weather. So
yeah. The other day was perfect. It wasn't too hot. It wasn't too cold. It was like right in between. Nice breeze. And I was like, this is cool. I can keep it like this. Because that night, yesterday was hot. I was like, Jesus.
Yeah, it was too hot. How's your allergies making out?
The worst.
It's still bad?
The worst.
Yeah. A lot of people have been complaining.
Yeah, it's a lot of pollen. A lot of pollen.
Hey, Marlita.
Hey, Marlita. How you doing?
How's it up there in Buffalo, New York?
Yeah, y'all come on and share.
So we had our first drive-in of the season on Saturday. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was. It was cool.
It was a lot of fun.
You shrugged in. You got to work on your posture in that chair too, because you be just sitting there like this. Yeah, you already got enough issues.
How am I supposed to sit?
Sit back. You got to get one of them little things to kind of get your back straight.
One of those back things?
Yeah, because you was like you was sinking inside of that thing. Like you was sinking it and just even yesterday too. It's like he just
I don't know how I'm supposed to sit.
You know, it's the wheelchair, because the wheelchair, the way the bottom sinks in at certain spots, like when you sit like the back, it dips a little bit. Yeah, that's why.
Hey, Sid, Vicky.
Oh, excuse me.
I almost I didn't tell nobody this. On Saturday, I almost took a tilt backwards.
On Saturday? How?
I was rolling, and I just felt myself like going backwards. I was like, okay.
You were rolling
I'm not gonna
yourself?
go that way. Yes.
Were you supposed to be rolling yourself?
No one told me I couldn't.
Lord.
I made out okay.
I would have helped you. I would have helped you up first.
And then laugh.
Checked your pain tolerance, but then after like a week, yeah, yeah, I'd have laughed at you.
It was right in front too. Everybody would have seen it.
I know. Now I'd be like, that's what you get. You're behind shit. Hey y'all. Hey Leah, how you doing, Leah? Listen, I still have that oil from last year, and the paper that had your phone number on there. I don't know what happened to it. Call me at the church extension 317. Leah, I'm sorry. I've been trying to reach out to you, but something happened. Yeah. When do I have a day off? I don't have days off. I have times off, if that makes sense. Yeah, I work about every single day, but each day I have little times where I kind of just, just call me and I can set it up for you to come, put it at the security desk for you to come get it. I have more times off than days off. Oh, but when school's over, I am taking some time off. But it's gonna be hard because you sit home with them and they're gonna be running around the whole time.
Do a staycation somewhere.
Might as well come to work. And they're screaming and fighting the whole time. Anyway, y'all come on. What do you think about? There's like this. We're going to talk about. May is National Mental Health Awareness Month. So we've been talking about some mental stuff. We had a good conversation last week on the emotional side of success and the mental side. Today we want to talk about comparison. There is this, and I think it's a little dangerous. There's this general restlessness. That's the perfect word with people now that the CDC and everybody's saying, hey, let's start opening things back up again and going back to normal. There's this general restlessness to me that is moving people away from common sense.
Yeah.
I believe that, while some things are kind of phasing their way back in slowly, I'm, in some aspects I'm okay with it. Some I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
But I think this general restlessness has people making some bad decisions because they're just like, I'm tired.
They just want to break out.
Yeah. Tired of this. I'm going to go back to normal. And if I get sick, people say, if I get sick, I just get sick. I got to live.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what to say about that, people, but you gotta be careful what you ask for. It's too soon. And like, what is normal now? Because the threat of the virus is still out there, and then like, I feel like we're coming to these decisions too quickly because we don't even know how long these vaccines last.
Yep.
So like, I don't know, some things just aren't adding up for me quite yet to feel comfortable to just go back to life as normal at this moment.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, I get most, a lot of people are vaccinated at this point now, and that's cool. But the problem is you don't know who's not vaccinated, and just because you are vaccinated doesn't mean you can't catch it, and you don't know how it's going to affect your body. It may keep you from death in the hospital, but you can still pass it to somebody else.
That's what I was saying. Yeah.
I mean, like I got kids to think about. All that you got to consider. So I think I think that we all need to just kind of temper ourselves just a little bit and calm down some.
Yeah, sure.
Just relax a little bit.
And slow and steady wins the race. So
yeah,
and ease into it.
Yeah, and I think that's why we're hoping to open in September. We're just waiting to see how these summer months are going to affect the cases and stuff. And we get a lot of questions about that because now churches are starting to slowly open up again. Here's our thing, and I'll say this. And I've been saying this, and Bishop said the same thing. We want to open up responsibly for us, because we can't be like everybody else. For us, I'm not sure if I want to be in a building with like 1,000+ people. That's number one.
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean? Because even when we do reduced capacity, you're still in the building with a lot of people. And even if we open restricted, right? You got to figure, again, it's an airborne sickness.
Yeah.
It's in the air, which means it's in the building. Right? It's going to just spread through the building. Right? And 6 feet doesn't stop a spread in a contained building. I mean, we have one of those things where we cycle air out, cycle air that's outside in, and cycle the inside air out of the building. That's one of the good things that we do have. But I miss worshiping with the people as much. And I think the other big thing for leadership wise is if, say, we open service and like something happened and, it broke out in here and a bunch of people that were members here got the virus, guess what they're going to blame?
You.
They're going to first go to Bishop first.
Yeah.
Right? And then they're going to come look at all the rest of us like, well, y'all decided to open. And then we're responsible if something happens to somebody else.
Yeah.
Nobody else. Well, we do have temperature checks, but again, what about the asymptomatic people that have no? So we have to consider all the variables and these new variants too. They don't know how the vaccine affects the variants. All they know is that the vaccine can help some of the variants, but some of the vaccines don't help some of the variants.
Yeah.
So that's what we got to consider.
Definitely. And like things aren't going to be, at least right away, how it was when we left, right? Like we're still expected to wear masks, and it's just crazy to me how people even take issue with that, with being able to wear your mask.
Yeah, I'm aware.
I saw someone I saw someone in the news related wearing masks to Nazi Germany and how Jews were placed in the camps and everything. I was like, it's
so
not the same thing.
Right. They are so dramatic.
It's not.
Right. The mask is to help you live.
Hello.
That's totally different. But Americans, we just got that thing. Like I watched the videos of New Zealand, Australia. They're open back up, normal, because they did the right thing, and their COVID cases are so minimal, if they even have any. One place had 3 people test positive, and they shut the whole city down for 2 weeks. Like, and they're back to normal. They're not wearing masks at all. But they're more of a communal community. So it was easier for them versus us. We're all about us and what we want to do. So,
and money.
Yeah. So anyway, let's get to this topic. Comparison. You know what's so interesting about comparison? That was loud.
Sorry.
That was loud.
I was thirsty.
That's okay. I'm just glad you're drinking water.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Are you keeping up the sugar detox, or are you done up to today?
I'm still working on it.
No, I mean, it's fine if you stop today. I mean, some people did 2 weeks, some people did 3 weeks.
Yeah, my goal was for the 2 weeks.
Okay.
But I'm still like trying to keep up everything, drinking my water. Yeah. So this is a gigantic water bottle. Yes, it is. My goal is to finish it for today.
That's good. Yeah, because we're on our sugar detox. Well, some people finish today. Others are going to finish next Monday, and one person said they're finishing today, but they're going to like minimally only have stuff with sugar in it, like just a little bit at a time, and just that's fine. Anyway, what's so crazy? Comparison. Let me qualify it like this, right?
Okay.
It's unrealistic to tell people not to compare themselves with somebody else. It really is when you think about it.
Yeah.
Because you're going to naturally, after the fall.
It's a natural thing.
Yeah, it's a natural. After the fall, in our sinful nature, there's a natural tendency to compare, right? The difference is this. There's something called healthy comparison and unhealthy comparison. Healthy comparison is, say, I'll use the 2 of us for example, so everybody can kind of get this. We joke about this. I want to get a camera just to take everyday pictures. I'm not trying to be a professional. I don't care about lenses, lighting, whatever. I just want to take pictures just for like, I'm a dad now. So, you just want to, you know what I mean? You just want to document stuff. I'm gonna be that old dad taking pictures of everything, graduation.
People's faces all blurry.
Right, having the big camcorder just sitting there and just But healthy comparison is she does this for a living, so she'll take better pictures than me. Right, and guess what? I'm not upset about that. Because she does it as a living. It's what she studies. It's what she's trained to do. I just do it for this. So if I look at a picture I take versus a picture she takes, I don't know how to Photoshop. I don't know how to touch stuff up. I don't know how to do none of that stuff. You just get raw with me, right?
You get what you get.
You get what you get. And every while then it'll be like, oh, that's a nice shot. And it will look like something that you may have done. But that's not on purpose. That's by accident, But healthy comparisons, and I see the comparison, but I celebrate what you do, and I don't feel bad about it. Unhealthy comparison is if you do something I can't do. I feel less about me because you do it better than I do it, or you can do it and I can't do it.
Right.
Which in turn makes me dislike you. Really, really, because I dislike me.
Yeah.
So I think, instead of telling people don't compare, we teach them to healthily compare. Which I'm mincing words here with the whole comparison piece, because comparing is I see what you do, I see what this person does. But how my response to that perception dictates whether it's healthy or unhealthy.
Right.
That's my synopsis on that.
I think it's definitely good to use it as like a good motivation. Like if you wanted to become a better photographer, like definitely you look at the photography I do and try to match it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But not in a way that it's like negative
Right.
and like almost like a nagging, like, well, if she can do it, I can do it, and I don't like her, like you said. Like there's definitely negative competition is just it festers, right? And then I just feel like it goes from there.
Yeah. You can tell you're competitive. So you have.
I am competitive. I own it.
I know you are. She was like, look, competition. Okay. So what?
I think there is a healthy thing of there is healthy competition.
There actually is healthy competition. There really is. There is nothing wrong with that. I don't think there's anything wrong with healthy competition. You know, what you just talked about is healthy admiration versus twisted admiration. Healthy admiration is I see what you've done. Yo, how did you do that? Because I want to get better in this
right
field.
And it's being able to ask questions about it.
Yes, because I want to get better. I want to learn. I don't want to stay basic and average at this. So I want to learn so I get mentors so I can learn how to be better at it. That's healthy. Unhealthy is, you know, I want to be better than you so I can feel better about myself. And I want you to always be less than me. It's
ugly.
That's unhealthy. That's unhealthy. And negative comparison leads to negative competition, right? Like for instance, you hear people say, I want all of us to win. You know, all of us can get something. There's enough out here for all of us. I mean, there's over 300 million adults in the United States. You mean to tell me if one person has 2,000, that means that there are 350 plus million people out there. You're focused on this person
get them all.
Right. You're focused on the one with the 2. How come they got 2 and I got 10? How come they got 2,000 and I only got 10 people? They got 2,000 people, I got 10 people. Well, maybe because you're focused on the person that got 2,000 people and you're ignoring the other 350 plus million over here. Like, you know,
they're missing the point. Because people are going to be drawn to you and your uniqueness. And if you're too busy being like someone else, like there's already 5,000 other people that are like that. So why would they want to go to you if you're not being your true unique self?
Right. It's and pastors go through this with size of churches. It's like you're mad at this church got 1,000 people, but you live in a city that's got 200,000 people. Why are you focused on the one with 1,000 people? There's literally 900,000 people in the city that you could be talking to. But again, unhealthy comparison has you focusing on the wrong thing. It's like Cain. Instead of me changing what I present to God, I'd rather kill my competition. What I perceive as my competition. And if I annihilate Abel, that means that I'll be okay. When the reality is you killed Abel, but Cain, you're still unacceptable. You can eliminate your competition, but you still won't succeed because
you're not putting out good stuff.
Yeah. As they're saying, dimming somebody else's light does not make yours shine brighter. And that's healthy comparison allows you to admire, appreciate, and say, you know what, there's enough for all of us to eat.
And I think that helps you grow also. Like I come from that mindset of where, you know, the more the merrier, we can build each other up and we all can be bosses, right? But I had an experience with a photographer who I thought was my friend not so long ago. And long story short, it wasn't appreciated that I had decided to go into that field without consulting her because I immediately became her competition. And it just got nasty. I'm like, wait a minute. There is room for all of us. So here I am trying to be supportive and, you know, let her know different photographer things and whatnot. And she's trying to take me down.
Wow. Yeah, it's true. It's because, again, but first off, for somebody to say you did this without consulting with me first, how can I say this without, who are you first.
My head turned around on that one.
Like, really? Are you my mother? Are you my creator? Like,
Yeah.
are you the boss of
And the
all
thing
photographers?
about it
Like,
too was that I not that I needed her permission, but I did let her know that, this is what was going to happen and that I wanted to collab and, support each other. Whatever. So I had to see it for what it was and not try to get my feelings about it.
yeah.
But
Yeah. And
it
it's
was
easy to.
mm-hmm.
It's easy to.
God did a lot of work with me on with that one.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure because the people, it's disappointing when the people you thought was going to support you ends up not supporting you. It's not an easy thing to realize.
Yeah.
It's hard. Because as you see, unhealthy comparison leads to envy.
Mm-hmm.
Envy and jealousy comes from unhealthy comparison.
Yeah.
So it's easy to tell people stop being jealous, stop being envious, but you got to deal with the thing that's driving that, which a lot of it is unhealthy comparison. So it goes back to the Garden of Eden with Adam and Eve. Who told you?
Mm-hmm.
Like who told? I didn't tell you that. Who told you? Who told you you were too short? You were too small. You were too tall. You was too large. Literally, who told you that your feet was too big, or I'm just using random stuff.
Yeah.
But it comes from a comparison of this is admired, this isn't, or whatever. But here it is. I remember I was talking to somebody and I was like, had there were issues with feeling attractive. I was like, well, tell me who you think is attractive. They listed a couple people, and I said, that all the people that you listed all don't look the same, right? And the person was like, so your standard for beauty is this, 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 and this. None of them look like each other. They all have different features.
Yeah.
So which one is it? Well, I think all of them. Well, how can you pinpoint what's attractive to you when attraction looks like 5 or 6 different things?
Yeah.
So it's like, but that unhealthy comparison will have you in a mode of illogical thoughts.
Yeah.
And oftentimes jealousy and envy is based off illogical thoughts and feelings that are rooted in unhealthy comparison. And it goes back to who told you.
Right. And I know I've heard you say this before too, like be careful because you don't ever know, what it took for that person to get there, what struggles they had to face, what are they dealing with in their personal life, so
yeah.
I wish people would just love themselves. And I get it. I have my insecurities just like everyone else.
Everybody
It's
does.
a struggle sometimes.
Yeah, everybody does. Everybody has something about them they would change if they could. But the reality is that there's something in valuing. To me, I know when you value yourself when you healthily work on you. I'm one of those people. Love yourself just the way you are. Never. No, I believe if you love yourself, you'll actually start making some changes, positive changes in a healthy way. You're driven to make yourself better, but you're not trying to kill yourself in the process.
Right.
You're not doing these outrageous stuff like going to Dominican to get these illegal surgeries and doing all that stuff. There's nothing wrong with appreciating yourself and going to the gym, or appreciating yourself and going back to school, or because when you value yourself, you actually want to do better for yourself, but do it in a healthy way.
So hinting a little bit at Tiffany's question, she says some of us have baggage from past relationships that takes time and trust when getting in another relationship. How do you keep from taking that baggage to the next relationship or having it steer you to another bad relationship? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it starts with resolving the baggage. It's baggage. Why are you still carrying it? And what are you going to do about it? I was talking to somebody about this last week. Like, the issue is now. What are you going to do about it? Are you going to learn? Are you going to grow from it? Are you going to forgive?
Yeah.
Are you going to let those past relationships make you a better person? or a more jaded person? Are you going to let it make you more cautious or more defensive?
Mm-hmm.
You have the choice to go, you have the choice to process your feelings from old relationships where you don't let new people pay for what old people did to you
Yeah.
and giving people a chance. But a lot of this comes from self-awareness.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people you talk to that have very great, keen self-awareness, they grow well in life
Mm-hmm.
because they know their flaws, they're aware of their flaws, and they're good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think, and it takes time to trust people in new relationships. But don't let new people pay for what old people did. But
It's
Sid,
important.
yeah, but Sid does chime on something for younger folks with social media. That negative self comparison is hard. It's difficult,
Mm-hmm.
especially when you're feeding yourself the constant lies that people are putting out about their life. I'm just being real. Let's be real here.
Yeah.
I remember I was talking to somebody who wanted a six pack and was like, "I want a six pack to look just like this," and picked up a magazine, right? And I said, that's airbrush, right?
You can do a lot with Photoshop.
I'm like, that's photoshopped. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
why? Like you're comparing yourself to something that the person that's in the picture doesn't even look like.
Nope.
So it's like, but we bought into the lie. And I think, let me ask you a question. Why can't people take a picture with no filters? I mean, you have to have a filter on every single picture. I mean, I get, you playing around and doing, but every single
Mm-hmm.
one to present this image. What happens when the person sees you in real life? Like, I mean,
Like, who that?
maybe I'm being old fogey. Help me out
Yeah.
here. Maybe I'm becoming a old get off my lawn type guy. The older I get, but
Mm-hmm. There's definitely a limit. Like for my photography, I like to keep everything very natural. Like I want skin to look like skin. I want you to look like what you look like, right?
yeah,
But you know,
not this
there,
shade.
like I don't know. I'm not gonna say that, but like you need to look like yourself. But I don't know. I think people struggle with the idea of what perfect is. And I guess my question is, who defines what perfect is? How are you defining what is perfect? You know?
Mhm. I mean, you ask a range of people, what's the perfect look? They'll all give you a different one.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not saying that all of us out here looking like we crazy. You know,
Mhm.
everybody's got something to work with, and you work with what you got. Um, but it's just that like I said last night, people are starting to have mental issues. You're going to see more mental breaks from people because they're trying to live into these filtered images. And we wonder why they have all these emotional issues because they're trying to present something and become something that internally they're not.
Mhm.
And so many successful people you hear about that have all these major depression issues, drug issues, it's because they became their character rather than understanding this is just a character and
Yep.
this is who I really am, you know? But some people, I'm trying to be nice here, they end up looking like caricatures, something made in the studio rather than a real life person. And I'll leave that there.
I mean, fillers and everything else. I feel like the more you do them, the more of an opposite effect they have.
Yeah. I mean, you really taking out a rib just to make your waist smaller? Okay, maybe I shouldn't go
Mhm.
that far. Okay. So,
You know who Mickey Rourke is?
who?
I think it's Mickey Rourke. He's
Yeah,
an
right.
actor.
Exactly. Yeah. Mhm.
He looks completely different now than he did a couple years ago. That stuff doesn't last.
It doesn't. And a lot of people in that industry, they try to look young because young is always in
Hmm.
and they don't age gracefully. But, you said, don't even start. I hate that word influencer. Oh, I hate
Yeah,
it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Oh my God. That's me and my quirky side, but it's just,
I get it. I kind of deal a little bit in that world, but
yes.
like I take that word influencer like to an extreme because for me the only influencer that I know of is Jesus, right? And to carry that word as someone who's just trying to promote fashion or anything else. It doesn't compute for me.
Yeah, I mean, they take it like, I mean, I get the meaning of why they do it, why they say it, but it's just, I think I'm just nervous for our generation growing up, but not even just our generation, just people in general. You're seeing a lot of adults do this stuff, and it's so easy to fall into the trap of social media and the internet. It really is, and they made it the way they made it so it can be addictive.
Mm-hmm.
That's why like I cut the Facebook app off my phone. I'm literally considering cutting the Twitter one off, but I like Twitter keeping that on because a lot of the people I follow are like theologians and thought leaders,
Yeah.
so I like reading their stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But even Instagram, but I don't think you can post Instagram on your computer, right?
Okay.
You got to show me how. I looked and I couldn't find it.
Mm-hmm. You do it through Facebook.
Oh yeah, because they're okay.
Yeah, I'll show you. There's a hack to that too, but
okay,
there's a way.
And I noticed on Instagram too. Now I can't do the multiple pictures now.
You can. You just have to press and hold on a picture first, and then the option to.
Why are they always changing stuff and never telling anybody?
Oh no, we gotta keep us on our toes.
So anyway, comparison, because it's really what we're talking about, comparison and envy.
Mm-hmm.
If you ever envy somebody or ever have jealousy towards somebody, you have to ask yourself the question, why am I negatively comparing myself to this person?
Yeah.
What in me feels that insecure that I dislike me whenever I see that person?
Mm-hmm.
What hole is in me or what damaged thing is in me that I think if I have what this person has, I'll be okay? So again, we were talking before this. I was watching, I watched wrestling growing up. So the Ultimate Warrior, one of my favorite wrestlers as a kid, like when I was young, and it talked about how when he won the championship against Hulk Hogan, he was like, I reveled in it, he cried, but then like 2 days later, he was like, what's next? That hole was still there.
Yeah.
And people think if I reach this goal, if I get all this money, if I get all this, I'm going to be fine. I'm going to finally be happy. And lo and behold, you're just as miserable. You're actually more miserable now with stuff than you were when you had nothing.
Yeah. The people put a lot of weight in that sort of achievement.
Yeah.
But they're not addressing what the true source of like the empty feeling is.
Yeah. So if you are insecure, if you are jealous or envious towards somebody else, instead of looking at the person, we have to look within ourselves. What in me is causing me to envy this?
Mm-hmm.
What in me is causing me to be jealous of this? And the thing is, if I can change it, I change it. If I can't change it, learn to accept it. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I don't think they have a surgery to reduce the size of your head, the size of your feet. That they have a foot surgery to go from a size 9 to a size 8.
Yeah, you get some bone taken out. It's like the same way I have my legs.
People are doing that now.
Mm-hmm.
So they get bones in their feet taken out on purpose.
Mm-hmm. Or if you have a crooked toe, you can get that straightened.
Well, I get that part. I'm talking about like making your foot smaller.
Yeah.
So they go through all that pain to get a smaller foot.
The surgery is possible. I don't know if they do it just for aesthetics.
I was about to say for aesthetics. I'm like, that's a lot.
Yeah.
So you were saying I'm not going to walk for a while because who knows how long it's going to take for that to heal.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to do both of them.
Yeah.
Wow. Sit.
It's on a roll.
But comparison, as they say, take a little further, as they say, is a thief of joy.
Mm-hmm.
Comparison is a thief of joy. Comparison will really mess your joy up. Mess your negative one will really mess with your self-esteem.
Mm-hmm.
And your self-image.
Why do you think that's such a big deal for us, though?
What?
Like comparison. Like that's one of the first tricks that the enemy use, like you said, in the garden. Like, why is it that big of a deal that we had to compare ourselves?
I think it's funny you brought that up. I'm working on this message. I'm going to call it I just want to be great.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not going to be the way y'all think it's going to be.
Okay.
It's not going to be the way you think. And Eve's desire for greatness is what got her in trouble.
Hmm.
You know? And it's that constant greed. If I had more, it's like Lucifer in heaven. He wasn't content just being an angel and being a reflection. He wanted to be God and be the center of everything. And I think that right there is one of the biggest things that gets most of us is the desire to be full in control, have full acceptance, and want to be God. We're not content to be the person God created us to be. You know, so that comparison leads to an iniquity in our heart, like with Lucifer. That comparison leads to, it's a power thirst, but it comes from a place of not feeling like you're enough, hoping that those things will fill this hole, but you'll get it. And guess what? Like I tell people, some people like, if I just get married, I'll be happy. I'm like, no, you're not. No, you're not. I know many people who marry a good person and they are absolutely miserable.
Yeah.
You want to know why? Because they were miserable before they got married.
Mm-hmm.
They were miserable before. And you'll be miserable after. You'll be happy for 2 weeks and then find something wrong with the person you're with, find something wrong with the relationship, just to only be miserable all over again.
Yeah.
Having somebody in your life is not going to make you happy. First off, it's nobody else's job besides you and God to make you happy.
Right.
People come to make you happier. They don't come to make you happy. So our quest of, if I get more money, I get more of this. Yeah, more money will make your life easier. But I know a whole lot of people, and studies have proved this. Some of the most people that are depressed, hooked on drugs, are people that have a whole lot of money.
Wow.
Because they look for the money to fix them holes in here. It ain't working. Yes, Eve's desire for greatness. I'm working on this thing now. It's not going to be any way the way y'all think. If I say it in
sounds
church,
like it's gonna be good.
If I say it in church, everybody gonna start shouting, "Yeah, I want to be great." Flip that thing on his head. It's not greatness in the kingdom. Is not how you think. Is not what we think.
Mm-hmm.
Not what we think. So yeah, you're right, Dan. The comparison is exhausting when you think about it.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. It drains you. It saps you of energy. All that stuff. It's a whole lot of work. And the question is it really worth this comparison? Everybody made us unique. Like every church is different.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like people now, because of the pandemic, you can church hop. Go to this service this time, go to service this time, and you see a plethora of differences in church. And not every church is for everybody.
Right.
Some churches are for some are for other people. But comparison can be good in a healthy way, and it can be bad, and it can be very damaging too.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, if you were never exposed to the opposite, would you feel insecure about the things you're insecure about now?
Right. Very true. These kids, like babies, they do what they want to do. They wear what they want to wear. Even if you think as a parent they look crazy, they're feeling fine about it. It's not until we start to experience a little bit more and hear, other people's opinions or whatnot, that I think we start to feel insecure.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And now you feel some type of way.
Mm-hmm.
Because, when you're a kid, your little light up sneakers that cost $10 are great. And then all of a sudden, now it's like, I want some Jordans. I can't have Jordans like everybody else. That's not fair,
Yep.
And then you're all jacked up then, because why? You are comparing.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember we couldn't afford like name brand sneakers. So I had these fake Jordans, right?
Uh-huh.
And they clowned me. They was like,
oh, no.
nice Jordans. They was like, it ain't no Georgia. I can't remember what grade I was in. I don't remember what grade I was in. But it it was looking back, like when you're that age, you're like, well, dang, you're right.
It was a big deal.
Yeah, it was a big deal. I mean, it didn't ruin my life, but it was like, geez, now, now I'm old enough. I'm like, well, I need some comfortable sneakers now.
Yeah.
Even though I like nice things, I'm like, just give me something comfortable.
Yeah. That's so true, though.
But again, if nobody ever brought it up, would you ever worry about it?
Mm-hmm.
Kids are horrendous. Kids are cruel. And I can't, really are. But I can't front because I was cruel as a child too, somewhat. So, why are you looking like that?
I didn't say nothing. The kids are really mean, though.
Huh?
The kids are really mean.
Yeah, they are.
And I can't even imagine what it's like now, because I didn't have social media when I was a kid. Facebook didn't come out. MySpace didn't come out until I was in like middle school or high school. So I can't even imagine what the social pressures are like now for kids.
Oh yeah. And a lot of people ask, well, how come, like the kids are being bullied? How come they don't turn it off? And now look at it. I think the fear for them is, I'm going to hear about it in school. Because back in the day, if you were bullied at school, you were just bullied at school. Mm-hmm. At least you got a chance to go home.
Right.
And you didn't have to worry about the whole world knowing about what was happening at school. You had an escape. Mm-hmm. Versus now, you got it at school. You got it online. And it's not easy for a 12, 13-year-old to turn off their social media where all their friends are. Yep. And then you're being clowned by not only just people in your school, but people that are
across the world
clowning you.
Yeah.
And the pressure of just like, dag, now in your mind, the whole world, even though it's not the whole world, all these people know about something that happened. And you're just like,
yeah,
it's not easy. I don't envy these kids at all.
No.
I wouldn't want to grow up in this. Dad, you had MySpace in middle school?
I think I got MySpace like...
When did MySpace come out?
I want to say it was almost high school when I got my MySpace. Maybe like
it came out in 2003. It came out in 2003. I was in college. It came out.
Wow.
Jeez.
Mm-hmm.
Be done in about 5 minutes. Yeah, I'll be done. I'm like, jeez. But anyway, so comparison. I think all of us need to work on healthy. I gotta get at it. They gotta work on something. Healthy comparison. Okay. Healthy comparison is key. Mm-hmm. Okay, when you start healthy comparison, like you said earlier, it helps with your ability to grow and develop as a person.
Right.
You want to learn so you can become better. It doesn't make you feel less than because somebody else is doing something better than you. Mm-hmm. Security says they're doing it better than me. Let me learn it.
Right.
Okay. What's going on this week?
A lot. So we had the recap tonight at 5:30. Tuesday is our Safe House Men's Ministry panel. So tune in on Tuesday at 7. We're back for another Word Impact on Wednesday at 7. Great series so far, so I can't wait to hear more of what you guys had to say on that. Thursday, there's nothing. But then Friday, we have our Fresh virtual kickback. So if you're interested in that, you can send an email to register at fresh with the number 3, FR3SH at GoToBethany.com. I had to think about it. And you can register for that. Those are always a lot of fun.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. On Point Saturday at 9, drive-in service at 11:30, and then a full day of worship on Sunday starting at 8. So a full week, as we always do. A lot of fun stuff.
Yep, and we'll be back for we'll work on 10 times better this week too. So
okay,
I think that's it. All right, y'all. Well, the Lord bless you, and we'll see you guys later. Bye.
Bye.